Thank you for tuning in. I am your host, Priscilla Mack. Good morning. Good morning. Welcome to the Good Morning Show. This is the day that the Lord has made. Let us rejoice and be glad in it. Today we are going to have Sister Geri Swartzman with us of Milestone Memories events. This is a special one, ladies, especially for those who love to decorate and for those organizations who have events coming up and the leaders who are in charge of maintaining events. Okay, Sister Geri is going to tell us all about how we can get our events together at a cost-effective rate and at a timely manner and with quality. Sister Geri, welcome.
Thank you, Priscilla. Thank you for having me today.
Yes. I was very interested. I know the first we met a long time ago through Toastmasters, but I've seen your decorations at some of the local networking events that we've had with the Hispanic Chamber of Commerce and so forth and so on. So can you tell us how long you've been in your business and a little bit about it?
This January will be 7 years.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and we actually started off because we knew we wanted to go into business after my husband retired from the military. We just didn't know what, and we were having dinner one day, and we looked down to see, watch the kids eat, and we realized we were looking at them at eye level, and we thought, wow, they sure grew up fast. What happened? Where did the time go? And I think, and did we miss anything? And then that's when the company was born. It was, you know what, let's open up a business whereby we help families and corporations remember the milestones in their lives so that they don't forget. And they, that's what life is made of, it's little things. And so we want to celebrate milestones, and that's why we're called Milestone Memories and Events. Mm-hmm.
So have you always had an eye for decoration and putting things together? Events together?
Yes, that as well as organizing and planning and staying organized throughout the process and also remaining calm. So that kind of suits me as far as, wedding and any event planning because, for weddings, people want their day to be perfect and they're trying to stay calm, but it's not really happening, and it's just not. We're not talking just about weddings. We're talking about corporate events that are very, very important. And corporations really seek to find an ROI, return on investment, with their event. And so we take care of that too, and we advise in that area as well.
Oh, wow, that's really good news to know. So you all take care of now. Usually, who is the person of a corporation? What is usually their title that will reach out to you?
Very good question, and I see it a lot in the military as well. And so we'll call that a corporation, for our sake. It's usually someone that is identified as perhaps, well, hey, you're not doing anything this time. Why don't you plan the event? Why don't you do this? And unfortunately, that person's job is not getting done. That person's regular job is not getting done. So because they're busy planning the event, they've never done it before. Sometimes you don't see any consistency. They'll give it to one employee, and then another employee the following year. And so you've got these different folks that have never done it before, and they're reaching out, and they're having to reinvent the wheel all over again each time. And so they don't realize that their regular jobs, are not getting done. So after the event is done and over with, they're having to return to a great deal of backlog work. And so it could be anybody that shows an interest. Let me plan the company Christmas party, or no, you know what, so-and-so is, before they leave on vacation, let them plan the Christmas party, or whatever it is, employee appreciation, recognition ceremony, one award ceremony, whatever it is you have. So it just really depends on who's doing that. But the corporations, the organizations that are not weddings, the organizations that do contact us, it's because they realize that they still have a daily job that they have to do, and they just can't drop everything and plan an event. It sounds easy, Priscilla. It really does, and in some cases it sounds glamorous, but there are a lot of moving pieces a lot of moving pieces, and they all have to kind of meld together. So I would say basically anyone who is deemed wanting to do it from that corporation, from that organization or company, or volunteers, or is basically voluntold.
Yes. Okay, so now if you're a leader in the corporate world, now you have a secret weapon in your back pocket here called milestone memories. I would just pull that right on out as soon as they assign me to do something. Yeah, sure, I can do it, yeah. Geri.
Yeah. Well, I think people think, and not just corporations, but social events and the private customer, the private client, they think that they're saving money, and when you think about it, you might be saving money by not hiring an event planner and thinking you can do it yourself. However, you're still paying that paycheck to get that other job done, their regular job done, and it's not getting done. Do you see what I mean? Something's got to give. Something's got to take priority at one point or another, and that particular job for that day is not getting done. But the corporation is still putting out money for it. It's still paying somebody to do it. It's just not getting done. So you can decide for yourself whether you're actually saving money or not.
Yeah, I think that's one of the hills for people is the event planner sounds expensive because of the turnout. We all know the turnout of having an event planner is great, but when you see something that luxurious, you're like, oh my God, that's so expensive, I can't afford it.
Mm-hmm. Actually, it used to be that it was a luxury, and people thought only celebrities can afford to hire wedding planners and event planners. It's kind of become a necessity. It's kind of becoming a necessity now. So yeah.
So you all do the planning from beginning to end. So this is just like project management from beginning to end, and then you close it out. Wonderful.
Complete with an after action report. What went well, what we need to improve on. Because when we do that, people are coming back for the following year. This is what we need to do for next year, or this might work here. So yeah, and you know what? I think one of the other misconceptions I think that people have with event planners is that they're going to do it their way, and that's not so. As an event planner, of course, we have to deliver what the client wants, what the client needs. But you've heard it before. When it's a corporation, you are indeed making an investment, and if you want to see some ROI, yes, you need to make an investment on that on your event. Yeah. So.
Okay, so what is the most common when people come to you and they are ready to go, and you have done this for so long, you can look and see, what's going to hold them back during the process? What are the most common things that people get all excited about having their event come together and then they don't have what?
Budget, and budget. And I say it 3 times because I'm actually talking about 3 different budgets. You budget for money, you budget for time, and you budget for space. And those are the things. Obviously, the first one is money. People want, I want to do this. I want the wow factor. I want to do this. It costs how much? They don't realize that that's what it costs. Yeah. So the number one trip is the budget for money, budgeting for money. And it's kind of, we don't do it every week. These big events, you don't do them every week. For example, a wedding. We buy milk and eggs every week and we know the price of them because we buy them every week. But you don't get married every week, or you don't have an employee appreciation dinner every week. And so it's hard to tell what it's going to cost. It's hard to budget for it. And so doing that, knowing what you want to spend on it helps a great deal. I've been told before, Geri, here's $25,000. Don't go above that. I'm like, okay, I can do that. And then we work around that particular budget. The entire world is on a budget, right?
Right, absolutely.
So it's not a saying, well, I can't do that because I'm on a budget. Oh, yes, good news. We're all on a budget. So yeah, I think that's the number one concern that people want to have. And I think this is where they're trying to save money and they end up doing it themselves, and they don't get the desired look.
Mhm.
Yeah, or they start settling in between. Well, we couldn't afford that, so we're going to have this. And believe me, Priscilla, that is just that alone is enough to drive you nuts during the process, because in my case, our company, we pride ourselves in letting the client enjoy the journey. That's a very big element of our company. We want you to enjoy the journey of either getting married or preparing for this big event, because that's important. That is part of the event. People think that it's just the day of, and it's not. You don't want to end up with high blood pressure and diabetes by the end of the day, because you've been killing yourself for 9, 10 months, maybe 4 or 5 months trying to put it together. And it's really very difficult. And you cannot put a price on that.
Right, I've seen that. I've seen people so exhausted towards the end of these things that it is ridiculous. And you've met one of the famous actual wedding planners recently.
Oh yeah, I've met him. Actually, I've met him a couple of times. He now recognizes me. Of course, you know that he sees a lot of people in his speeches, and then he signs autographs, whatever, and then he gets together for pictures. So I don't know how. I mean, I know pretty much how he remembered me, but I've met him I think 3 or 4 times now. So yeah, it's just he's a very nice fellow. David's a very nice fellow. I was his VIP liaison when I was doing the Waco bridal show, or the bridal show with this ring, bridal show in Waco, produced by Action Rentals out of Waco. And I was his VIP liaison, so I was responsible for getting him and his assistant from LA to the airport, to Waco, to his hotel, responsible for his green room. So yeah, it was just a nice opportunity. And of course, seeing him all over again was like, hey, it's nice to see you. He goes, oh my gosh, I remember you, blah, blah, give us a hug. So yeah, it's nice. Yeah, that picture you saw there would be about our 4th picture together. So I have
Mr. David, and his name, just for the audience, that's David Totora. He does wedding plannings. I remember he had a seat. What's his last name? Totora, right?
No,
David Tutera, I'm sorry. And I've seen him doing he used to have a season show.
Yeah.
And you can see what goes on behind the scenes as an event planner. And I'm like, oh my God, you cannot believe what they have to go through. It is craziness. And it's like you have to be a designer, a psychologist, everything, a friend. Yes. Some people don't have nobody. They end up planning these events for hundreds of people to come to, but yet they have no one, and they break down in the middle, and everything just looks beautiful, and like you would never know. You would never know what was going on behind the scenes there. So that's the benefits. And what are some more benefits of having an event planner?
Believe it or not, an event planner, while people are thinking, I can't afford an event planner can actually save you money. Many of the vendors like to, they like the referrals, and so if I see a good vendor for a DJ or cake or a band, maybe a comedian, a performer, any vendor, a photographer, any kind of the vendors for any event, we refer them. We say, okay, well, we worked well together. This looks like this. And so I'll say, if anybody asks me, hey, do you know any good photographers, any good DJs, whatever? And so I have my little black book. But so with that comes sometimes some discounts. Not always, but most of the time, I guess it depends on the event planner. I get a lot of discounts, but I love to pass those discounts on to the client. Because out of that, let's say $25,000 that she gave me to spend, I can actually, we can reduce the amount of this cost and add more flowers or more favors or more, another hour to the venue. So there's lots of things we can do with those discounts. So yeah, we can actually save you some money. And again, like I mentioned, the 3 budgets. The other budget is time and space. Venues sometimes require that a client be out by a certain time. But that schedule that we put together will help to make sure that we get all of your favorite activities for a wedding or games if for a party that you want in on schedule and still be out of there on time. You don't want any surprises like at the end of the night, oh, you owe another $200 because you stayed 30 minutes. You don't want any of those kinds of surprises. That kind of ruins the mood. I'm leaving, goodbye. Oh, yeah, wait, first you got to pay $200. So, yeah, that's kind of puts a damper on things. The other thing is space. The other budget is space. You want to make sure that all your guests have a place to sit and eat, of course, and you're looking for traffic flow feasibility. You want the audience to experience a seamless evening, so that when they leave, you ask them, hey, what was your favorite part? And they can't tell you. They can't, because they can't pick it apart. They just know that the whole evening was really neat. It was just fulfilling. It was just an experience. And that's what you look for when you create your event. You design your event. You plan your event. You're looking for a seamless experience so that the whole thing is memorable and not just, oh, yeah, her dress was nice, or they had really neat cocktails. They had a really cool signature drink. The whole event is the thing, and that's what it will be remembered as. And that's how you create milestones.
Yes, that's how you create milestone memories. Okay. And listen, you all, you can find Milestone Memories on Facebook. So be sure to go on to Milestone Memories Facebook, like her page, so you can keep up with it and take a scroll and look around at her work. And you can also connect with her right there. Geri she gets on there often. And checks into it to see, who's leaving messages and contacting her and reaching out. So you can always find her there and more information. Because I know we like to look at, the Facebook pages before we partner with people, because we want to see if it flows with us. So I can tell you from my eyesight, I love luxury things. If you all have been on my page, Priscilla Mack, you can see my taste. And Geri has high-quality taste. I mean, I love it. Absolutely love it. It's beautiful. It's pretty. And I like being surrounded by that. And if you're going to throw an event and you want to impress your friends, your colleagues, your peers, or if you want to put on extravagant event for someone else, honor them, have an amazing wedding, this will be the person that will go walk with you step by step. And what I like about Geri is that she's patient with you, okay? Because we all know we get to a boiling point, or we have private or personal issues that can come up in between the days of your planning. And, Geri is one of those folks that can see you through to the very end without judging. So that's the kind of person you want to work with. And she loves it. You can look at her nails. A woman with clean red nails, watch. Go look over there. And she clean red nails and red lipstick, they know what they're doing. Very on point, okay? Thank you so much for joining us. Milestone Memories and Events. Check it out. Thank you for tuning in. I am your host, Priscilla Mack. Rise, shine, and give God the glory. This is the day that the Lord has made. Let us rejoice and be glad in it. Goodbye.
Amen. Amen. Bye-bye. So thank you. Bye.
Bye-bye.